Judge Alexander Thorne leaned back on his bench and chuckled at the woman before him, not knowing he was laughing at the single most powerful legal mind in the country. The ceiling fans in the Clayton County Courthouse spun with a lazy, ineffective whir, doing little to cut through the southern heat that seeped through the old brick walls. The air smelled of desperation, cheap pine cleaner, and lost causes. In the back row of the public gallery, Dr. Evelyn Reed sat perfectly still. At 64, her posture was erect, her hands resting calmly in her lap. Today, the esteemed Associate Justice of the Supreme Court was not draped in her ceremonial robe. She wore a simple, faded denim jacket, comfortable walking shoes, and a plain t-shirt. She looked like countless other grandmothers waiting for a bus, but her eyes, sharp and assessing, missed nothing. She watched the board clerk snapping her gum as she called the docket. She noted the indifferent bailiff, a man named Roy, scrolling through his phone, and she studied the man presiding over it all, Judge Alexander Alec Thorne. He was a man in his late 50s with a perpetually sun-reddened neck and a manner that suggested the courtroom was his personal stage. The gavel was his prop, and the citizens before him were his unwilling audience. Evelyn had heard the stories for years. Her own cousin Marcus had written to her after his son received a 6-month sentence for a misdemeanor that typically carried a fine. The judge didn't even let his lawyer finish, the letter read. He took one look at him and saw a problem to be locked away. That letter had been the final straw. So Dr. Evelyn Reed had taken a quiet leave. She told her clerks she was visiting family. She did not tell them she was walking into the belly of a broken system to perform a diagnosis. Next case, Thorne barked without looking up from a file. A young man shuffled forward, charged with an expired vehicle registration. He tried to explain his financial hardship. Thorne cut him off. "Ignorance isn't a defense, son. That'll be $400 or 10 days in county." Next, the young man's shoulders slumped. A cold, familiar fire ignited in Evelyn's chest, the same fire that had fueled her climb from a scholarship student to the highest court in the land. Her case was called a minor property line dispute regarding a vacant lot she owned through a trust. The paperwork was intentionally sparse, the matter trivial. She had crafted it to be the kind of nuisance case Thorne despised. She walked slowly to the defendant's table, the picture of an unassuming older woman. "State your name for the record," Thorne muttered, finally glancing up. His eyes swept over her denim jacket with undisguised disdain. "Evelyn Reed," she said, her voice calm and clear, a voice accustomed to being heard in the most hallowed halls. Thorne let out a short, derisive snort. "Ms. Reed, this is a court of law. We have certain standards of decorum. Did you get lost on the way to the grocery store?"